Hey guys, welcome to this episode of The Sims 4 Vampires. Now, in this episode, we're going to delve straight into the story as Cornelius is finally waking up. And so, this is Cornelius. Adelaide is currently meditating. Luella's playing her organ. What level is she in the organ? She's level 6 at the organ. Level 3 at Vampire Law. Yes. How's Adelaide's skills coming along? 4, nearly 5 in charisma, nearly 3 in comedy, 5 in fitness, 2, nearly 3 in gardening, 4 in herbalism, 3 in logic, nearly 3 in mischief, nearly 3 in mixology, 1 in photography, getting there at 6 singing, mastered vampire lore, nearly 2 of gaming, nearly 8 of wellness, and nearly 5 at writing. Her garden is getting along very well. I am just gonna take a quick screenshot here. So I like animals in Sims. It's why I like going to Granite Falls, because you just see so many different animals there. You see chipmunks or squirrels. They're probably meant to be squirrels, but in my opinion they look more like chipmunks. Plasma trees. The mosquito traps haven't been getting there. The garlic is actually now harvestable. So we get you back into your loves. Oh, okay. Snob Sims love to be in the presence of other Snob Sims. Probably why they get along so well. Yes. He is idealistic, hot-headed, and a snob. So, very similar in a lot of ways. He's sort of, let me just change that. Adelaide's sort of a mix between the two, because she's hot-headed like her father, and then she's more of the family person, a friendly person, which sort of affects why she's this bookworm because she still has this peaceful kind of just sit there, read sort of sense. Yeah, and a lot of the skills that she has comes from her mother. So, well, she lives her life in a similar way to what her mother does, but personality-wise, she's a lot like her father. And in many ways, it's causing conflict. And she cannot escape because of this arch, which is an interesting reason, because I rather like the arch. He has been in hibernation since the family was abandoned and ripped of their power, so he is still a fledgling with literally 0, as he hasn't actually fed on anyone yet. But his power is bat form. So he, unlike Luella, has an also bat form, probably the most basic. It's like the cabinet. Just to refresh my memory. Right, yes. Yes, she has a cult student. She has eternally welcome. She has cast hallucination and vampire creation. So she herself is actually getting there as a minor. I mean, we haven't really been focusing on her. She hasn't really been doing much other than feeding, and initially at the beginning where she was training Adelaide through sparring, there's no reason why she should have gained much, and I was never planning actually for her, because this hasn't really been focusing on her getting her power back, but how she's been helping, she's been getting there, and I haven't actually been expecting her to get very far. I would have been perfectly happy with her just staying a fledgling for the entire time, as after training she is purely there as Adelaide's advisor. She's lived for centuries, so she's accumulated all this knowledge, and she's then going to use this knowledge to help Adelaide on her mission. So that's from that perspective. But as she has been progressing, we have been looking more into her aspiration. This Let's Play is story driven, but I still want to explore the different parts of everything. And so, because she has one of the new aspirations, we will be looking at that aspiration. And then of course you have this, which is trained through offsprings. So I'm going on the fact that doesn't mean literal offspring. So once she's ready, the reason, other than because of the archway, the reason I haven't got rid of that arch is because I want Amelia around, because Amelia's going to be an individual we turn, and it's going to take a couple of sim days. I'm going to play them off screen, but once she turns, we're then going to look at training her, seeing if this works, seeing if that will then go up, and if it doesn't mean literal, if it does mean literal offspring like Adelaide and Douglas, then things might get complicated, because it may mean both. Not 100% sure yet, that's why I'm looking into it. If it does mean only genetic children, then things might be taking a bit of a twist. Then of course we need to convert 5 Sims into fully grown vampires. If that literally just means change them, then... Oh, she's angry, she's hot-headed. So, that's exactly what you're going to go do. You're going to rant and rave and basically chill out. You're going to basically have a complete argumentative anger at your father because he abandoned you, he abandoned your mother, he chickened out, he ran away, and looking at it from a certain kind of view, Cornelius isn't much of a family person. I mean, if we look at his traits, we see a snob, which means he's up on himself. He's materialistic, which means he likes buying new things, he likes getting things from that, and he's hot-headed. None of these consistently show a family person, and he isn't much of a family person. He's been spending a lot of time with the council, and his children are the ones who's actually made him lose his place. And now, after waking up, after being gone, he's found out the fact that his daughter wants to then go after the council. So, where are you going, Adelaide? No. Continue bearing. Keep going. Let's go to the flea market and see if we can find any road trip. No, thank you, Daryl. And yeah, basically have a go at him. And I can see him now he's woken up, and knowing the fact that his daughter wants to take them on, he's still going to be hung on helping the council, because that's where he spent so long. And because he was on the council before Adelaide and Douglas were even born, and they're about 50 years old. So Adelaide's not going to be happy about that, and Cornelius is going to try to talk her out of doing it, but of course won't be able to. So they are going to have a duel. Oh, sorry. Went hypersensitive there. So. And, for those just curious, this then is Cornelius's dark form. It's quite bat-like, he's gone even paler, it's more pale grey than just plain grey. His ears, although were already pointy, have now flared out like bats' ears. His teeth are all fangs. His nose has got flatter and more arched, and then you have the brown. But his outfit's relatively the same, whereas Adelaide's is quite literally the same outfit, and we've already seen her dark form. Whoa. Keep knocking at her confidence. Adelaide's lost to her father and Jade within a short period of time. Now, Luella, being protective, is now going to have a problem with Cornelius. I mean, their relationship too would have been strained Don't watch TV. Turn it off. Go. Have a bath.
You want the soon?
Then
Darza. Good choice.
I'm actually going to get you to nap in there for a little while.
Sergey Blue. Dub my bluffin'.
Ah, Nopsa, huh?
The rotation seems to be quite sensitive,
Yes,
so you're just going to completely dig him. You're not happy with him. You just...
Gloom.
Yibs. Farsip.
Kanaza.
Quinarb Merve's Drobel.
He just went and
Mulspec. Mopsy Vom.
went after
Tway.
Flows it.
Fleazak Dimpa.
your daughter, so
Nibs.
Imbo Beige.
Oh, Afrin.
you're just completely going to go at him.
Brapna. Rimple.
Not going to imply why there's a llama, because in my opinion Luella gets on quite well. We're not going to get them divorced. You're not going to do this one-sided, so you can come brush her off. Oh, from what I see, and sort of fang size.
Zambo. Oh, Badish.
Me boon.
Arbor.
He, however, will imply her mother's a llama. However, the slight difference is the backstory.
Monzo.
Yes, I knew that would get her. Purely because the story behind Luella is the fact that her parents were killed by vampire hunters when she was still a child, and she grew up on the streets. She's about 13 when they were killed, so her mother's a very sensitive subject, especially it's similar because Adelaide and Luella have a similar relationship as... Oh, he's not changing. Oh yes, he did change to start playing. I just never realised.
Chungy Bambo.
Yes. And so,
Well, Basie.
Cornelius is now fleeing. And so she is going to calm herself. She's going to sing in the shower. Then let's turn her into a vampire. Drink. I'm gonna try. No, don't drink. I want you to turn her into a vampire. So he is then. It's in the afternoon, so he's gonna go sleep until it's actually daytime. Okay, so unfortunately that may mean that we may need to wait even longer I thought we can change her. I was hoping to look very simple. However, who else is she friends with? Who is we have Baker? He's an elder, which
Oh,
we have fairness if we invite him round.
Shalbo Barleen. Shaima Kabij. Guru Pinavi. Hulena Galna. Nibahana.
Yes, so we he's here. Turn into a vampire. Okay, so she's feeding. Although it's not actually getting her thirst up. It's very quick, it's simple. Their friendship did drop.
Dag dag.
Sena.
Zisamba.
Because completely
Steve
Bako Jang has been infused with the essence
Libonkusha. The
of
Fala
a
Fedor.
vampire and will turn in a few days.
Bena Wexa? Rafa. DZ Wag.
And so, that is it for this episode of The Sims 4 Vampires. It was very everywhere. I mean, Cornelius waking up. Okay. She went to sleep in a coffin. That must have been very uncomfortable. Yes, so he went again. He wasn't sleeping. God knows why. He slept for long enough. But he's gonna be awake a minute 'cause it's coming night time. But yes, it's been very everywhere. Adelaide lost another fight, so we might need to test again. Do a few more fights before for a series of losses, similar to what Llewellyn done after Adelaide stopped her for the first time. But now Llewellyn seems to be winning every fight, and it's very complicated. I'm not really understanding about how this fighting seems to go, but there's that. So, that's the end of this part, and I'll see you guys in the next one.